Linda with EUR Web. Welcome back. I'm so excited about Chicago Fire returning on the 13th of January. Adriyan, I wanted to start with you because you are the newest cast member. And so, can you tell a little bit about your character, Gianna, and how she kind of got thrown in to a really busy station?
Yes. So Gianna Mackey, she is kind of like family to Joe Cruz. And he's been trying to get her to 51 for a while now. And that's kind of how she got thrown into 51 is he was rooting for her. She's always wanted to be at 51 since she kind of graduated from the academy. And she wanted to be at a busier house. She wanted to, get more calls, be out there saving more lives. And they kind of made her land at 51 and now she's getting her footing, realizing that it's kind of busier than she thought it would be. But nonetheless, she's figuring out that she's completely capable, which is a beautiful journey of like self-realization.
I love that. Now, just a quick follow-up on that. When we last saw her, she was having major doubts. Major doubts about staying there because there was the crash, and then there was that crazy gun-toting meth head after her.
It was a lot. I mean, could you imagine going to your first day of work and on the first task you have, somebody holds you up at gunpoint?
Right.
And you get ran off the side of the road. That's a lot.
It's a lot. It was a lot. But I'm glad she was able to run it out of her system.
Yeah.
So Daniel, I want to talk about your character, Darren. So Darren, is he still considered the newbie?
I think in a lot of ways, yeah. I think he's still newer to the firehouse, sure. So I think with the addition of Mackey and Gallo last season, and then my character Ritter, we're all kind of the new blood in the firehouse coming in. Yeah.
And are we going to see? Because I've been waiting for you to get a love interest. So are we going to see that this season?
So I'm trying to think about what I can say.
How about this? Are we going to explore his backstory this season?
I think so. I think we are going to get many great opportunities to just kind of dig more into Ritter, his personal life, who he is, who he with or ain't with, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to see him blossom a little bit more. So I'm excited for that.
Now, are we going to, and Gemma, this will be for you, are we going to be seeing more crossover events? Because, the Chicago 3 is kind of like a pack that everyone watches. If you watch Chicago Fire, you're going to watch all of them, like Med, all of it. So are we going to see more crossovers this season as well?
I feel like we've seen a little bit of crossover when Burgess came and with the whole being held up at gunpoint. But I can't really speak on if we will, just based on the fact that we're still operating within a pandemic. Mm-hmm. And the way that we have actually structured things, that we are staggered a bit, so there's not a lot of people in one spot and things like that. So hopefully I would absolutely love to get to explore, Gianna in the scenarios and scenes of Med and PD and have those, they're all great people. So I would love to work with them all. But I don't know, I can't for sure say based on the COVID restrictions.
Got it. Now, Daniel, how is it working for the iconic Dick Wolf? Like, what is that? I've always wanted to ask that question because, I was really introduced to him with Law and Order, and now with this trilogy of Chicago amazing shows, what is it like to work with him?
For me, it's been really great. It's been a really special time of my life so far. I think, like as an actor, you especially working in television, you kind of are offering up sometimes, I think, a significant portion of your life, your time, your energy, your thing. And it's the returns have been so abundant. It's been quite a blessing to operate, learn, and work within this one Chicago universe, within the Dick Wolf universe. I've got to meet, people that I grew up watching on television. Like I visited the Law and Order set, like, a couple years ago, and it kind of feels like all of these little extensions of like one familial unit. So that's a really cool aspect of working on the job.
I love that. Now, Gianna is friends and partners with Brett now. And you're coming in as the third partner and really stepping into some major characters and major shoes. What did that feel like?
For me, I know that everyone has been bonded with the other paramedics that have been present. I try to just honestly stay present, and it just feels like I'm new to Brett, and our relationship is building, and I'm learning new things and things like that. I try not to, because when I first got on, there was a lot of, she looks like this person. Where is that person? And I'm like, I have nothing to do with those things. Here. So, I just try to stay present and grateful that I'm here, and I'm enjoying working with everyone, especially my PIC. We have fun, and we it's really good bonding and gelling that we're being able to experience. So
now, I know you're being a little humble now, but when I said earlier that you really jumped in, your character really jumped in, you kind of already eyeballed love interest at the station.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think that Gianna is she's open to learning new things. Different people.
If you were my bestie, I'd be like, you lying. You got your eye out on one person specifically. And so are we going to see a little bit of her, Gianna, exploring, her options? Because, we do have a lot of couples at that station. Yes. And wannabe couples at that station.
Yes. It's a Chicago Fire, like, underneath essence, right? Couples want to be couples that everybody wants to be couples. I think you'll see a lot more exploration into who she really finds attractive, who is just who's just cute, who she actually falls for, who actually falls for her. There's a whole bunch of different things that
I'm excited. Now, Daniel, you kind of were a hero in this last episode that I saw before the break, and it's go ahead. Both shoulders. Now, it was actually a major save on your part, and this is just me as a viewer and a fan, but I feel like you have such potential and such glory, and you're so smart on the show. Your character can basically do anything. Are we going to see more of him kind of coming out of his shell?
Absolutely. I think one of the greatest joys of portraying Darren Ritter is that thing that you're talking about, that potential. He was like a little baby seed when he first got on, and we get to see different people pouring into him in the form of mentorships. And I think this was one of the first. There have been a couple of moments in my time on the show, but this is one of the first that we kind of really see Darren in the last episode. I mean, with the train save, like just taking action on his own, getting the thing done, and just kind of reacting and jumping in it, which I think is a testament to those who have taken him, under their wings. And we are going to get more of that. And it's going to be really, really cool to see him evolve. Absolutely. You better fly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let's do it. Now, with Gianna's character, We see that Cruz is really overprotective, and he mentions a guy named Dex who got sick and was promising that he was going to always take care of you. Are we going to explore that this season? Because I was like, who's Dex? I'm looking back in my notes. I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Dex is Gianna's older brother.
Okay.
Who got sick and passed away. And we will be exploring more of that as you see the depths of Joe Cruz's and Gianna Mackey's relationship and what actually binds them so closely together, because they're like family and blood couldn't make them any different.
Oh, I love that answer. I love it. So Daniel, with Ritter, Darren's character, do you think that Mouch was your biggest mentor coming up at the station?
I think between, funnily enough, the two who have kind of shaped who Darren Ritter is becoming as a firefighter are Mouch and Herman. I I find it funny because his dynamic with the two of them is just it can be really humorous at times, but there are just these moments where I think Mouch in particular kind of, in this way is a bit of a father figure almost to Darren Ritter in some ways. And it's really, really cool seeing that take shape, and also seeing those moments as with any sort of mentor-mentee relationship or parent-child relationship where the roles reverse, and we get to see him sort of take the lead and lead the other, as actually occurred in a very a fun set of scenes with Christian Stolte last season. But as you can see, I'm like smiling and looking on it fondly as well. But because I also feel that way about the actors that portray my mentors on the show. Like there have been little moments of mentorship between them and I, as well as Eamon Walker, who plays Chief Bowden. So yes, to answer your question, for sure.
I love that. Now, one of the things I like about Dick Wolf shows is that there's always diversity in his casting and what you see on the show. Has that been your experience? And I'll start with you, Gianna. Well, I'm calling you Gianna by your character's name, but Adrian, I'll start with you.
Has that been my experience in my
on other sets as well, or do you notice it more on Dick Wolf sets?
I think my background is very different because I started in a world on shows like Atlanta and movies like Superfly, which are extremely diversified. So the diversity is very familiar to me. I do think it's refreshing and much appreciated because representation is very important and it matters so much. But yeah, for me, since I started with shows like Atlanta and Superfly and Brockmire, it's kind of like in the same space, which I'm grateful for.
Love it. Your turn.
My turn? Okay.
Yes,
Daniel. I have a background in theater a lot here in Chicago, and I've been very fortunate to experience these moments of true, authentic. I think there's a kind of not hierarchy, but there are levels to this, like with anything. You know what I mean? And there is diversity, and then there's representation, right? Diversity, if you're not careful, if you don't do the research, if you don't do the work, it can be tokenism at times, sometimes, right? And I've experienced that in theater. I've experienced that in other projects that I've worked on where I am like the only one, and then representation. What's important about representation is that means on all levels, on every level, in front of the camera, behind the camera, in the writer's room, period. And so while I am grateful to have navigated the spaces that I have in my past, and especially now with, having my girl Adriyan on the show, like straight up, it's like a head nod, and that's a whole language. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That's beautiful, and as is true of pretty much any facet of work, there's always more to be done. There is always more to usher in. There's always more doors to be opened. There's always more. And I think as long as we keep our eye on the prize and we keep moving the way that we have been, like Dick Wolf's sets can be very diverse. If we keep heading in that direction, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better, and it should.
You gave me goosebumps with that answer. I feel like I should give you a standing ovation. I 100% agree with you.
Right.
I want
to just put my answer as our answer is good.
It's our answer. I'm going to play a quick game with you. It's like word association. Daniel, I'm going to start with you, and then Adrian, I'm going to move to you. So I'm going to give you 2 words. You're going to pick which word as your character would pick it. But before I start, I have to, so there's the ladder, and then what's the second truck called? Truck?
Engine?
So
yeah,
is it
so
engine
there's
and
truck
ladder?
and engine.
Oh.
Well, there's truck, squad, and engine.
Okay, so not ladder.
Okay.
I don't know where I got that. So truck and engine. Okay, so starting with you, Daniel, at the firehouse, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay.
Dalmatians.
Okay, Adrian, are you going for the save or are you going for the run?
The save.
Okay. Daniel, this is a big one. Love or your job, career?
Oh no! It's a trap. Geez.
Entanglement.
I'm gonna have to. Can I explain my answer too? I'm gonna do it. I have to.
Nope. Love or career? Love or career?
Love.
All right, Adrian, you're not off the hook. Family or firehouse?
Family.
Oh, she got that like pow.
Oh, Gianna is family oriented.
Come on.
All right, Daniel, last question. Cleaning or cooking?
Cooking.
I love it.
Wrist motion.
I was a big cleaning.
Love it. You guys did great. You guys were able to answer. You had a little bit of a stumble, Daniel, there, but I'm going to let that one pass. You picked love, so love is good. Now, the one last question I wanted to ask you, how is it filming? And I'll start with you, Daniel. How is it filming and how is it filming in COVID and in this pandemic? And how has it changed for you as an actor?
It's strange. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It is strange. Especially being on the part of me is like, sad is too strong of a word, but like it's lovely to have you here, Adrian, and I totally wish that you could have been here before all of the COVID of it all, because we just kind of, we have to go by the CDC guidelines. Yeah. We have to go by the CDC guidelines, and we have got to do the mask. We got to maintain the distance if we're not, shooting on camera. And before we were just kind of all over each other, like all up in each other's space, and like a real family. You know what I mean? And so it's a little strange to be back. I think that we're making the adjustment really nicely, because at the end of the day, it's about safety and it's about comfortability in the workplace, and we have to maintain that so that we can continue doing the work that we're doing. So it does require a bit of an adjustment, but I also think that we're really well supported and we are doing just the best that we can.
Love it. You gonna add to that, Adrian?
Well, my perspective is a bit different. So for me, I just honestly believe that it's We want to, but I understand the guidelines. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Oh, what was the last thing you heard?
Honestly, it's you said, for me, it's a little bit different. And then I think we froze a little bit.
Okay, got it. For me, I think that it's different rather than difficult. I just feel like difficult is a mindset, and I've chose to take my mind out of that mind frame. But I do wish I could, be weird and hang out and hug my castmates and be, do what we want to do. But we are adjusting really freaking well. I mean, we're doing our best, which is amazing. And, we're maintaining our bubble. We're respectful of, ourselves and others. And all of us are always taking into account the fact that we are all responsible for each other's health. Like, for example, we will choose to not, most of us aren't going out and hanging out at bar. We're not doing that stuff because we know we have to maintain this bubble, and it won't just affect us, not even just the castmates, but the crew and all these people who we are blessed to be working during a pandemic. And if COVID was to infiltrate our bubble, would stop us from being able to make money and feed our families and things like that. So it's just different.
Got it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you too. I'm so excited for January 13th, and you guys always leave us hanging. So I'm ready for it. Yes, I'm ready for it. HIC. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is so random. So I'm from Canada. I need to know, and I've had this debate with many actors and people from Chicago specifically. I don't understand why it's called Shy Town, because it's Chicago.
Well, I think, Shy Town just sounds better because otherwise it would be Shit Town. So maybe that has something to do with it.
That's the best answer I've ever had. I love it. I appreciate you too. You're wonderful. It's lovely to just see more of us on the screen. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This has been really lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too. Bye, guys.